Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to discuss the controversy surrounding the match between Indonesia and Bahrain. The referee's decision in this game have sparked much debate and disappointment. Let's take a look at how this issue reflects the importance of fairness in football. Here is my opinion.
Wasit Ahmed Alkaf menjadi sorotan setelah membuat beberapa keputusan kontroversial dalam pertandingan kualifikasi Piala Dunia 2026 zona Asia antara Indonesia dan Bahrain pada Kamis 10 Oktober 2024 malam. Wasit Ahmed Alkaf terlalu mudah memberikan kartu kepada pemain Indonesia. Meski kontak fisik antara pemain minim, Indonesia menerima lebih banyak pelanggaran daripada Bahrain. Dalam laga ini, Indonesia tercatat membuat 27 pelanggaran. Dua pelanggaran yang dilakukan Marcelino Ferdinand dan Ragnar Oratmangun berbuah kartu kuning. Selain itu, pasukan Garuda juga membuat 2 offside. Sedangkan Bahrain hanya memiliki 10 pelanggaran, di mana 1 pelanggaran berbuah kartu kuning untuk Amin Penadi. Padahal, ada momen-momen ketika Bahrain melanggar pemain Indonesia dengan keras, tapi tidak dinyatakan sebagai pelanggaran. Bahkan, manajer timnas Indonesia Sumarji mendapat kartu merah saat memprotes pertandingan yang belum berakhir meski injury time selesai. Alkaf juga disorot tidak memberikan tendangan bebas untuk timnas Indonesia pada babak kedua. Padahal, saat itu Rafael Struijk dilanggar oleh pemain belakang Bahrain di depan kotak penalti. Wasit hanya memberi trouble kepada timnas Indonesia dengan alasan tendangan bebas tidak diperlukan karena bola mengenai Rafael saat dilanggar pemain lawan. Hal ini membuat Indonesia kehilangan peluang mencetak gol. Saat pertandingan mencapai menit ke-90, wasit memberikan tambahan waktu 6 menit. Artinya, laga seharusnya usai pada menit ke-90 plus 6. Namun, laga terus berjalan hingga menit ke-90 plus 9 yang membuat Bahrain mencetak gol penyama kedudukan. Padahal, tidak ada insiden yang layak memperpanjang waktu tambahan lebih dari yang telah ditentukan. Situasi ini pun memicu protes, sebab tim Merah Putih nyaris menang 2-1 atas Bahrain sebelum disamakan kedudukannya menjadi 2-2. Selanjutnya, kontroversi juga muncul terkait gol terakhir Bahrain yang disahkan tanpa pengecekan VAR. Alkaf seharusnya memastikan gol terakhir yang dibuat Mohamed Marhon sah atau tidak melalui VAR. Pengecekan diperlukan karena penyerang nomor 9 Bahrain, Hussein Abdul Karim, diduga berada dalam posisi offside sebelum Mohamed Marhon mencetak gol. Hasil pertandingan tersebut membuat Indonesia menempati peringkat kelima klasemen grup C dengan torehan 3 poin dari 3 kali bermain imbang. Atas sederet kontroversi tersebut, Persatuan Sepak Bola Seluruh Indonesia atau PSSI memastikan akan mengajukan protes kepada AFC dan FIFA terkait kinerja wasit Ahmed Alkaf.
Okay guys, the match between Indonesia and Bahrain stir up discussion that not only reflects disappointment but also raise an important issue regarding integrity in sport decision making. The referee's calls, which appear to lean toward one side, such as letting several fouls go unpunished, demonstrate a lack of consistency that can damage the credibility of international matches. In this context, the controversy is more than just a technical matter. It shows how unfair decisions can erode the trust the player and fans place in the football system itself. When the rules and technologies meant to ensure transparency are not used optimally, matches like this only reinforce a sense of injustice and create a negative perception, especially among supporters who feel their teams was wronged. Although I am disappointed with the outcome and dissatisfied with some of the referee's seemingly biased call, I still need to accept that this is part of the reality in sports. Football, like life, doesn't always go as expected, and sometimes difficult decisions are part of the team's journey to grow. Amid this disappointment, I have learned to appreciate the hard work of the players on the field, who continue to fight even when faced with challenging circumstances. It is essential for us to use this experience as motivation for improvement in the future. And then, I hope this opinion helps us all to better understand the importance of fairness and integrity in football. Let's continue to support the development of this sport with the hope that in the future every match can be played with greater fairness and transparency. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Hello everyone. In this video, I will be sharing an important topic in English. What is it? It is the simple present tense. I have prepared this presentation to make it easier to understand. Although I am not perfect in delivering this topic in English, I will do my best to explain it clearly. Let's get started. There are 4 things we will discuss about this tense. First, when do we use it? Second, the form. Third, signal words. And lastly, notes. When do we use the simple present tense? The simple present tense is used to state something that is true in the past, true in the present, and will be true in the future. The present tense is used for first, general truths, which do not change from the past, present, and even in the future. Let's look at example number 1. Example number 1, the earth goes around the sun. This is a general fact that has been true from the past, is true now, and will likely remain true in the future. And example number 2, nurses look after patients in hospitals. This is a general truth because one of the duties of nurses is to care for patients in hospitals. Example number 3, most animals kill only for food. The fact is that carnivorous animals in the wild hunt for their food. These 3 sentences are examples of general truths. The second, expressing habitual actions. The simple present tense is also used to express habitual actions. Here are some examples. Examples number 1. I read a book before going to bed. This is a habit I have before sleeping. Example number 2. You always eat a sandwich for lunch. This is a regular habit you have for lunch. Example number 3. They work out regularly. This is something they do as part of their routine. These 3 sentences are examples of habits that have been done in the past, continue in the present, and are likely to continue in the future. And next, expressing everyday activities. The simple present tense is also used to express repeat daily activities. Here are some examples. Examples number 1. I go to work before 7 every Monday. This is a regular activity that I do each Monday. And example number 2. My classes begin at 9. This describes a daily schedule for my classes. Example number 3. I have lunch at noon every weekday. This is a regular routine for lunch on weekdays. These 3 sentences are examples of everyday activities that repeat regularly. Form or sentence structure. The simplest formula for constructing a sentence is subject plus verb. You can also add an object if needed. As we have learned, tenses involve change in verb forms. In the simple present tense, we use the base form of the verb or verb 1. So, the formulas are as follows. For positive sentence, subject plus verb 1 plus object. For negative sentence, subject plus do not or does not plus verb 1 plus object. For interrogative sentence, do or does plus subject plus verb 1 plus object plus question mark. Let's look at examples of positive sentence using the formula. subject plus verb 1 plus object. For the subject I, you, we, and they, we use the verb drive with the object a bus. And then for the subject she, he, and it, we must add s or es to the verb. So drive becomes drives, and object a bus. For negative sentence, subject plus do not or does not plus verb 1 plus object. For the subject I, you, we, they, add do not, the verb drive, object a bus. And for the subject she, he, it, add does not, the verb returns to verb 1 without the additional of s or es, because we assume that the s or es have been taken by do, so that it becomes does. So the verb return to be a drive, and the object is a bus. For interrogative sentence, the formula is do or does plus subject plus verb plus object. Do, as in the interrogative sentence, is used by the subject I, you, we, they, while does is used by she, he, it. Then the verb 1 is the same drive and object a bus plus questions mark. To answer it, yes, subject plus do or does. No, subject plus do not or does not. Now, for the next types of sentence is a sentence that used to be as the main verb. The sentence pattern, subject plus to be and plus followed by adverbs or adjective or nouns. To be for simple present tense, we use is, am, are. So, the formula for this type of sentence is positive sentence, subject plus to be plus noun or adjective or adverb. For the negative sentence is subject plus to be plus not plus noun or adjective or adverb. For interrogative sentence is to be plus subject plus noun or adjective or adverb. Let's take a look at examples of positive sentence. Subject plus to be plus noun or adjective or adverb. For subject I, we use to be am. Subject you, we, they, we use to be are. And subject she, he, it, we use to be is. Next, added the verb noun or adjective in this sentence. We use the adjective namely smart. Next, negative sentence is subject plus to be plus not plus noun or adjective or adverb. The same as the positive sentence for subjects I, we use to be am. Subject you, we, they used to be are, and subject she, he, it used to be is. Then added not and adjective smart. For interrogative sentence is to be plus subject plus noun or adjective or adverb. To be am for I, to be are for you, we, they, and to be is for she, he, it. And added an adjective smart plus a question mark. For the answer, we can use yes, subject plus is or am or are. No, subject plus is or am or are plus not. For example, yes, she is. Yes, they are. No, they are not. No, I am not. Signal words for simple present tense are vocabulary words that signal that this is a simple present tense sentence and is related to time. Because again, a tense is a change in a verb due to time. Tenses are different ways of using verbs to express or distinguish time. For the simple present tense, the signal words are mostly frequency adverbs, which indicate how often an event occurs. Examples are always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, rarely, never. Present next to it indicates frequency, namely how often the event is carried out or occurs. Other examples: every morning, every day, every Monday, normally. In each formula, frequency adverb can be placed at the beginning of the sentence or after the subject. For example, she often drives a bus. For sentences that used to be as a main verb, use the frequency of this verb after to be. For example, he is always happy. Important notes. Number 1. Simple present tense is used for general truth, express habitual action, express everyday activity. Second, don't forget to add s or es to the verb for the singular third person subject. Okay guys, I hope you understand more about the simple present tense. Hopefully, what is shared can be useful for you, especially for me personally. Thanks for watching and see you!